Yeah, we've been, as I said, we started wrong type of training, not knowing, thinking that we're starting on the 18th, 15th of 18th of July, if I'm not mistaken. And then we overloaded players, and then we got some injuries, and um, and then we thought maybe it's August 1st, which was suggested, obviously not officially, that we might play August 1st, and that date was just a date. That was not a date um, that collectively everybody was into it. And then we changed again our focus from the 15th to the 1st and back to now where we are, which is now the official date that we all know. So you got to understand that we have prepared the team wrong at the base at the beginning, because we were preparing quickly, that if the game starts in 10, 12 days, because that time, or 14 days, because that time I think we got a green light from the PSL to train on the 3rd or 2nd of July. And then we were rushing to say, okay, if the games happens on the 15th, because there was that date also from that was spoken about. So we loaded the players, and then we had challenges, we had injuries. And then when we heard that there's a possibility of playing in the 1st of August, then we changed the program again. And then there's no 1st of August. Then now is the official one, which is on Saturday. So you got to understand how you prepare the team is totally different, and you're getting different reactions from the body, because the body hasn't done nothing for the last 3.5 months. So that has been a challenge. But be as it may, we are where we are now. And yeah, we've had about a few injuries. We've got Alimenza injured. Um, the next 2 days will give us we'll make an assessment if he's available. We have Anele injured, no training. We had Kapinga injured, of course, he's not playing. We have other players been injured. I think we've been updating the injuries of the team, but we've got Kelez was injured, also out. Nasimento's got a niggling injury. Yeah, those are the players that we had who were out of because of injuries, and then we had also players who could not train because they tested positive for COVID-19, and we did not have them. We had to isolate them, and they were not part of training. Yeah, and we had other guys who were just sick, flu, because it's winter space. It has nothing to do with COVID, and they came back. Yeah, and then we have Mauricio Stark also in Uruguay, Alfonso. We are not able to get him. We've got Tapelo still out injured. He's there, but we don't want to risk him. He can play. He's training with us. He's kicking, but it's very important to have him once, and you don't want him to go out and break down, and then you regret all the 5 months that he's been gone through. So yeah, and we had Dennis with niggling injury also, and yeah, so far so good. We have that, and I think it's normal for anybody or any team to be having such a long. I mean, I've been talking for about 3-4 minutes at this point in time, and I haven't let even ask you to ask me the next question. So I'm giving you updates, and also training. Yeah, I mean, training in small groups, players, strange things. Players sitting there, the other ones. I think you've seen the images from our media department. We have done only one video analysis, And also on the video analysis, it's also that social distancing, and you wait for a certain time because you can't be in a closed room. So we do it outside, and there's a reflection of the sun, and then you can't have the visuals proper. We wait for that space between 5 and 6, that 45 to 50 minutes, and then we go in there. We did it once, and you must also understand when you do it outside, it's cold, and players can get flu. So we did it once. The doctor said, cut it. We might get a lot of players with flu now. You got to understand how the football under COVID-19, how strange it is. We don't have team spirit in the camp because we eating within 2 hours. This one pops in, eats, this one goes out. Sometimes you are alone in the dining hall, and where are your colleagues that you always eat with? Can't make nice groups when you pray before the training sessions. It's a lot of things. You can say I'm saying a lot of excuses, and I think you don't want to hear that. Maybe you just want to know if you are ready to play, and I can answer that quickly if you want. So ready, I'm not sure. Let's see the football under COVID-19 if we're ready. I've got my expectations from what I've been seeing football under COVID-19 on TV. So I can presume and say all that. But we will have 11 players on the pitch. We'll have 5 subs. We'll have all the protocols of COVID-19 observed, and we will play.
All right, thank you very much, Coach, for those opening remarks. I'll take questions from the floor. Colleagues, you just need to raise your hand or type on the chat function. The first question will be Mazola.
Hi, Coach. Coach, just wanted to find out if you've had an opportunity to have a look at Dobsonville Stadium. I don't know if you've left Rustenburg yet, but have a look at Dobsonville Stadium and what your expectations are, and just the number of games that you're going to play in such a short space of time. I suppose it ties into what you've been saying about whether you are ready or not.
Yeah, Dobsonville Stadium. Yeah, I've sent my people there, the people who look after Torco pitches and all that. I told them their next office is no longer in Torco. Their next office is in Dobsonville Stadium. So they must be there 9 to 5 and help the groundsmen and make sure that the pitch is ready and if it's in a proper condition, because you've been given a pitch, a venue to play at. And you can't be putting an excuse or passing the buck on anybody else. So you know where you're playing. So you must look after the pitch. So I told them, I asked them, if you could, put the lawn mowers and put the small, you've got these trucks that cut the grass. If you could take everything to Dobsonville Stadium, and there's challenges. Coach, we cannot leave the equipment in the township because we are playing in the township. We're not playing in Ellis Park. We're not playing FNB. We're playing in the township. So it's the draw. The draw said we must go to the township. So we are there. So, and there are challenges of township. You know the story. I grew up in the township. There are challenges in that, and you got to make sure that things are right. So, but I don't think the pitch is very bad because I got the images, and Wits was playing there in the same place that we are playing. So we should not complain a lot because Wits was playing there. So, but Wits was playing there before COVID. It's a different story after COVID because everything changes, to that level to say, you just sometimes, Mazola, you just get paranoid about this thing. Oh, is the groundsman tested for COVID-19? Because I'm going to be talking to that guy. I'm going to be working with him on the pitch to say, what do we have here? So, those protocols, those things are also part of these things, and okay, tested, but where does he stay? Who does he talk to as I'm here in Rustenburg? where we are, where we tried to take the team away from the epicenter. But I need the guy to help me over there. So it's part of it. It's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. It's a football under COVID-19. So that's what we have. I don't know what was the second question because you asked two things. I think you asked about
Number of games. Number of games.
Number of games are the same games we were going to play, Mazola, before COVID. So no games have been added. So you can't complain about the number of games. Yeah, the pecking order of the games it's a challenge because we have to finish quickly, you remember? So, and you have to play those games. And by the way, why are we complaining? Because Wits got the same number of games to play, you know? And the challenge is the Nedbank Cup final, the Nedbank Cup. So it adds more games. There should never be such a big problem with the number of games, Mazola. The challenge is, I hear people saying, no, but you guys are used to playing so many games within that short space of time. Yes, and it's a good point. But we play those games with a base of 3.5 months before those games. We are playing regularly. But now we have 3.5 months without playing football, and then you have that program. So let's see what's going to happen with the injuries. Let's see if the body is ready. So it's for us to make sure we manage the games, we manage injuries. So you can't have, I like to play the same team all the time. I don't think that thing will happen because I'm going to get injuries if I do that, and it's going to affect all the other games behind. Because if you do that for 3 games in a row, you're going to have hamstrings, you're going to have groins, you're going to have all those things. And it's going to affect the next 7 games that are behind. So be very careful of what you do. So number of games is not a problem for us and Wits because we have been doing that. Of course, advantage for teams that are playing the league that don't have the program that we have, they have an advantage. And also with less games than the league, so they have more rest, you know. So we are all well-rested teams at this point in time.
All right, let's go to Mark Lewis.
Good afternoon, Coach. Thank you for your time today. I wanted to speak to you about the mental strength, the winning mentality that Sundowns seems to possess. And whether it be a Nedbank Cup match or a league match, the impression is always that Sundowns' history makes them favourites because you've been there before, you know how to close out matches, you know how to close out leagues. I want to ask you, how is it then that your players seem to be bred differently? What is it that you do to them? What is it that you say to them that gives them seemingly this mental edge over every other team?
Yeah, Mark, it's again, or everything happens under the head or under the umbrella of football within COVID-19. What you used to do before COVID-19 and it worked or whatever, it falls out because the program is different. The body is totally different. The mind, I don't know about the mind because some players have different mentality about playing football under this space. I think you saw that even other players in Europe did not want to play. I mean, Conte, for example, of Mazzola's team, decided that he's not coming back until everything is right and everything is almost ready. So there are players who are a little bit, you can see they might not want to talk, but I don't know how they react with other players at that time when they're supposed to mark man to man, set piece corner kicks, and mentally, the guy sweating and players spit on the pitch or whatever, or sneeze or whatever, how is my player gonna react to this kind of situation? That I can't confirm. Everything under COVID, I can't confirm. What I can confirm is probably how do you think we can play or whatever. But the other things around COVID, the mental strength of the game under COVID, I don't know. I want to see also we will have an experience after this. La Liga will tell you, Premier League, English Premier League will tell you, Serie A will tell you. Those who continued and finished the games, we don't have. We will talk after. I think we can talk a little bit after that.
Let's go to Karabo. Karabo, please be very quick, brief to the question straight. No need for critique.
I can make the questions shorter, Fatwan, if you want, easy. Because I can see we have time problems. I'll make them short.
Thanks. Coach.
Okay. Good afternoon, Coach. Just a quick one. In recent weeks, I've seen that you've been focusing more in terms of your signings. They've been young signings, young players. And one aspect that you've always said is that you always look at the characters, the personalities of players. Can you just elaborate shortly as to why is it so important for you to look at the personalities and characters of players before they join Sundowns? Why is it so important that you check those kind of things when you bring in players at the club?
Yeah, thanks for the good article you wrote about Tembazwane. He liked it. Well done. Very good. Nice. Very good of you on his birthday. Yeah. Some of the things that happen and then you guys are picking them up and goes on, even though we didn't want to say much, but you guys have picked up that we are currently we're currently preparing the team for future because because of the age of the most important players in the team. You know, the Kekanas, the Nascimentos, Dennis Onyangos, the Villas, you know, Langerman. You know, we've got lots of guys over 30, yeah? And when it's over 30, you're not getting younger. And there's nobody over 30 whom his speed is improving. Nobody. You are just declining, you know. I mean, you can't say also that you were as quick as you are when you were 19, 20, when you are 32. So that's the challenge we have at Mamelodi Sundowns, you know. And these guys have won so many trophies with me, and they're important for the team. But what are you gonna do when you can't work against time? When time is there. So we're trying to tap our resources at the MDC so that we bring up the players, and we have done that before. We've got Percy, we've got Madisha, we've got Nkulisi, we've got Abraham, the goalkeeper, we've got Nicole Kubeni, we've got Keleto, we've got the two youngsters, Promise and Mudise, which is Bale. We call him Bale. Yeah, we got about 9 of those boys who are coming up, and also it's important to give confidence to the youth to say you will play in the senior team from the MDC. We put Madisha, we put Mkulis was in the starting lineup in the cup final. So those are the issues that we need to show that we believe in our youth. Our MDC team is giving us about 9 players, and I think now as we are on the squad on the bubble, we have those 8 players, and then also of course is to make sure that even those we buy or we outsource them from other teams, we make sure that we need to be very careful with the age, okay? And then you might want to ask me, what about Josh Maluleka, who's 30? Yeah, special talent, special position. It does happen that you can sign a 30-year-old, but the rest of the players that we have, and those we will announce later, the age group is below 25. So Kapinga, all those boys. So yeah, that's the future. Trying to change the team slowly. The younger ones must learn from the senior team whilst the senior players are playing, we introduce them slowly and they gel with time. Like Madisha took over from Thabo Tete, Percy took over when Leo left. Percy Tau was there, and he sustained it after Keegan left, Percy left, Kama left. So we're going slowly and we're doing it very, very nice. Yeah, to look after the future of the club.
Right, we're wrapping up now. Last question to Tashreeq.
Hi, Coach. Thank you for your time. Tashreeq from Sport 24. You've previously mentioned that you guys picked up a couple of injuries and some of the players have been sick. And now you've only had the players for a couple of weeks. I'd like to know, what's the mood like in the camp among the players with this first kickoff on Saturday? Is it positive? Are the guys looking forward to kicking a ball about over the weekend?
The internet is not helping us a lot. You'd like to know, can you repeat? Because the internet is not helping us.
I said with the couple of challenges you have already faced with the injuries and only having the players for a couple of weeks, how is the mood in the camp so far? Is it positive? Are they looking forward to kicking a ball again amongst one another on Saturday? Did you get that?
Look, you can't be negative. You have to stay positive. That the mood is good, because at the training, that's the only time I see the boys at training, and we explain the type of training sessions that we're gonna have on the Zoom. We have meetings every day on the Zoom on what we're training today, what we want to achieve. We try and make it as short as possible because we don't talk a lot. The way I interact with my players is not the same anymore. We don't have meetings where we sit together and talk. We eat different times. You just pitch and eat and go to your room. Sometimes other players are getting their dish and then they ask the waiters to send food to their rooms. So I can't talk about the mood. I don't see my players. We don't see each other, and normally players do well when they are sharing a room, they talk. Now everybody's on his own room. It's a football within COVID-19. So yeah, I don't know the mood I see on training. Yeah, on training, I can see good, but it's nice when they're laughing when somebody scores or do something and they hug each other, or they go congratulate him, give him a nice high five. The doctor tells us, hey, that you must stop. Hey, observe protocols. When they change from techies to soccer boots, equidistant, everybody's got his own basket. I don't know if you've seen our baskets. Everybody's got his own baskets. You put your things in there. You've got your mask in there. You've got the sanitizer there. You've got all your things that you need. You've got your own towel. You can share. You've got your own water. You've got your own energy replacement drinks. It's the mood. Yeah, let's see. I guess it's for everybody, in the PSL. If you observe the COVID-19 protocols, if you're not observing them, then those people it's a happy-go-merry environment. They have more team spirit than us, but we worry about our players. We look after the health of our players. We don't want to be the first team to break out stories here. So we also respect government protocol and health protocol. At this point in time, normally I run the team, but in COVID-19, I'm no longer the steering. I take a back seat. It's the doctor. The doctor is the steering. He tells us everything. When do we train? How do we train? At one stage, I tried to the beginnings. When we have those 4 groups of 4s and equidistant, and you can't be together. He steps on the pitch. Coach, please, I don't want this guy closer to this guy. Please keep the space. I said, how am I gonna mark? If I want to show him that if the guy is marking you, you do this. He says, yeah, do it with the distance. Look, it's not for me only. I guess it's happening to everybody unless we don't observe the COVID-19 protocols, and we just get nervous, and the life of the bubble, that's another story now. The life inside the bubble, you know.
Coach,
we are sharing teams, confidence, trust with other teams, testing when, what, the results, you know, do we have enough space to, are we
Coach, sorry to-
open with our results, or are we not open? You know, those are the things.